The stories I'm about to share with you tonight were submitted by real people. People who have no explanation for what they experienced. People who have tried to move on. Some of them haven't been able to. These are three of the most disturbing true stories I have ever come across. And once you hear them, I think you'll understand why. Make sure your doors are locked. Let's begin. Our first story comes from a Reddit user who posted this account 3 years ago before deleting their entire account the following day. They lived alone in a small house in rural Pennsylvania. By all accounts, it was a quiet neighborhood. Nothing unusual had ever happened there before, until the night of November 14th. They were asleep when it started. 3 knocks at the front door. Not loud, not frantic, just 3 slow, deliberate knocks. They looked at their phone. 3:04 a.m. They lay still for a moment, hoping it was nothing. Then it came again. 3 more knocks. Same rhythm, same pace. They got up and walked to the door. Through the peephole, they could see a man standing on the porch, head down, not moving. They didn't open the door. They called 911. Officers arrived within 8 minutes. Nobody was there, no footprints on the porch. No car on the street. Nothing on the road outside. The officer suggested it might have been a neighbor in distress who wandered off. They accepted that explanation until their neighbor showed them the security camera footage from that night. The man had been standing on the porch for 22 minutes before he knocked, just standing there, head down, in the dark. But that wasn't the part that kept them awake at night. In the last 3 seconds of footage before the camera lost signal, the man slowly raised his head and looked directly at the camera. He had no eyes. The second story was sent to me directly by one of the 3 people involved. They asked me not to use their real names. I'll call them Marcus, Derek, and Jess. In August of last year, 3 friends went on a camping trip to the Appalachian mountains. They had camped together many times before. Nothing had ever gone wrong. The first night passed without incident. It was the second night that changed everything. Marcus woke up to the sound of footsteps outside the tent. Slow, deliberate, circling. He woke the others. The 3 of them lay completely still, listening. Whatever was outside was walking slowly around the tent, over and over, same direction, same pace. For almost 4 minutes, Derek grabbed a flashlight and pointed it at the tent wall. There was a silhouette, standing completely upright, right next to the tent. Marcus said later that his first thought was that it was a bear, but bears don't stand like that. It was shaped like a person, arms at sides, head straight, standing perfectly still. Just started recording audio on her phone, 47 seconds. That's how long she recorded before the phone died completely. They sent me the audio at the 23-second mark. You can hear it breathe right next to the tent. Whatever it was close enough to touch. The final story is the one that disturbs me the most, because of how ordinary it sounds at first. A woman named Linda moved into a quiet suburban street in Ohio in early 2023. Her neighbor across the street was a friendly older man she saw every morning at his kitchen window. Every morning she would wave. Every morning he would wave back. This went on for almost a year. Last October, Linda decided to finally go introduce herself properly. She baked cookies. She walked across the street and knocked on the door. A man in a suit answered, a real estate agent. He explained that the house had been on the market for 2 months. The previous owner had moved away the previous February, 8 months earlier. Linda told him about the man she saw every morning at the window, the man she had been waving at for the past 8 months. The agent went very quiet. He told her that no one had been inside that house for 8 months. Not the owner, not a cleaner, not a realtor, nobody. Linda asked him to come inside and look at the kitchen window with her. They stood in the empty kitchen for a long time. On the WINDOWSIL ... there was a thick layer of dust, undisturbed, as if nobody had stood there in a very long time. Linda still lives across the street. She told me she doesn't look at the window anymore, but sometimes ... when she's washing dishes late at night ... she gets the feeling that something is looking at her. She never waves back.